So big crystals versus small crystals. What is the advantage? Do you need both? What's going on? So depending on what you want to do, if you want to put, if you wear a bra, and you want to put a crystal in your bra, hopefully, you know, a small crystal is going to be more apt to do that than a big, massive crystal, right? Because the big crystal is not going to be so suitable. So think, what is the use for it? Am I going to want to wear it? Am I going to want to have it in my pocket? Am I going to want to get this actually put into a ring, set into a ring, or set into a necklace? And are you going to wear it constantly? Be aware that sometimes your crystals may take some getting used to when you're wearing them constantly. So, you know, something to bear in mind, that you might feel a little bit altered when you first put them on. So you're thinking, okay, well, what's the advantage of a big crystal then? It's just going to cost me more money. Actually, it's really, really handy if you want an impactful crystal somewhere. So if you're charging a deck, for example, if you have a tarot deck and you want to charge it with a particular energy, you can put a nice crystal on top of it in order to charge it with this energy. And of course, your big crystals are going to be super for putting around people, especially maybe at the top of their heads or between their feet, and also on the crystal grids under your table or any crystal grid that you're setting up. So they're going to be your centerpieces in your crystal grids. Okay, so little pillars like this work well for crystal grids. Chunks work well for the crystal grids. They don't necessarily need to have a point. They can just sit in the middle of your grid like this. Okay, and then you can have the other crystals just either pointing in or pointing away from them. Okay, whether you're going out or whether you're going in. Okay, so you then have a much bigger size of crystal which exists, and you might be able to make it out, and that's the big amethyst down by the corner there in my room. And this is like a space cleanser. Okay, she came in here and she changed the whole feel and energy of the room when she came in 2 or 3 years ago. And these are amazing. They have a fairly big impact on you and on the people that are going to be in the room. Okay, and people are going to find themselves quite chilled out by them. Your bigger crystals are going to be good as well if you have an altar as statement pieces that are carrying a particular energy. So if you want particular energies embodied for emotions, then you can embody them in a piece of whatever represents emotion for you. So it could be a piece of rose quartz, and you can set that on your emotional side of your altar, wherever that might be. We'll talk a little bit more about altars another day. So you can organize those as well on an altar. And of course, you're going to have all your small pieces for building up grids, putting around the body, carrying on your person, etc., etc., and putting around people that are coming to you for either Reiki treatments, crystal Reiki treatments, or for crystal treatments as well. Okay, so big, small, and ginormous, you need all the sizes. So start somewhere and just get the pieces that call you. Okay, don't refrain. The idea is to not get too scared of the big pieces and to think, no, it's okay, I can buy this piece, and this piece means something to me, and it's going to have a place in my collection, and I'm going to have a use for it, even if it's just about dispelling energy and sitting in the space and dispelling harsh energy, you know, which this one does really well. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about shape as well. Okay, for shape, when you have rough crystals they are emanating all around, like this one particularly, because these ones, they have, this has points on it, okay, so this already has directionality within it, whereas this does not have any points. It really is that basic crystal, which is a chunk, a real chunk, which does not have points to direct energy, okay? So then I'm going to have crystals that have been shaped to be wands, for example. All right, so these will have directionality. And in the case of ones that have a spiral, a sphere rather than spiral on one end, you can see how this is going to be used to take energy out, or just to get things moving and exiting, okay? This is the smoothing out and the taking outside. The points are going to be all about driving energy in, and you can feel it as soon as you do this. Okay, generally this is going to be counterclockwise, and this is going to be clockwise, putting energy in. Okay, so why would you want to have many different shapes? When you are doing your crystal grids, for example, okay, I might have this as my centerpiece, and then at the ends there I might want to put a focus stone, and before it I might want an intention stone. This one works really well for focusing and just releasing. So when we do the grids, I'll show you how it works. These ones are self-explanatory as well. For these ones, you're going to want your focus stones and your intention stones, everything going towards it, so that it then goes into the recipient, which is intended. Pieces like this you can use with grids that are pointing in or grids that are pointing out. For grids that are pointing out, you're going to want this sort of amorphous sort of shape, okay? And then you're going to want to take that and place it into your intention stones, and then this is going to be the catalyst to your recipient. Hopefully I'm saying this and it makes sense. Okay, so it's just to exemplify that there's many different ways of working with the many different shapes, and there isn't just one way of building a crystal grid, and there's certainly not one way to work with a crystal wand. So if I take this one, for example, I can use the very pointy end for some purposes, and then I can use the wider end for other purposes, and we'll get to this when we do wands. Okay, so that's a broad overview of crystals, shapes and sizes. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you soon.